Next up is the asset managers. So we're going to look at the model manager first. Here we have a singleton, and then we have our default path. We have our loads and our get, and obviously our delete, which is only accessible through an attorney to our scene. And then in the CPP, we're just implementing that. So here in our load, we're making sure that it's that when we look for the key, it's not already in it, and then we create it. Again, load, we're making sure that it's not in the, not loaded already. And then when we get it, we just make sure that we got a valid key or a valid model and we return it. And then our delete just deletes, loops through all the models and deletes that. So it's very similar for the shader. The shader only has one load here. We do have a get as well, and then we have a load default shaders, which we saw earlier in our engine class. So here we go. Right now I only have one default shader, which is a sprite render. Obviously that could be extended in the future. The texture manager is also very similar. We're using an attorney as well. And then we have our default path, we have our storage like the other ones. We have two loads here, which allows us to load given a path or load given the RGBA. So, or just RGB. And then our delete obviously in our CPP. Pretty typical stuff here, what we saw earlier. And then we have our sprite fonts. Sure, I'll talk about my sprite fonts. So our sprite font manager we have here, again, it's singleton. It does look very similar. So we have a key and a path, so similar to the texture. And then in our load, again, it's very similar. But then in our actual sprite font, we have I'm gonna go over this later actually. Sorry, that one's it for this one.